1. Nuggets Insights, Valanciunas, Adelman, and the upcoming season. 2. Nuggets Jonas Valanciunas drama, the hard ball strategy. 1. Nuggets Insights, Valanciunas, Adelman, and the upcoming season. Jonas Valanciunas finds himself at the center of a high-stakes NBA loyalty dilemma. The Nuggets expect him to honor his $10.4 million contract despite his rumored desire to join Greek powerhouse Panathinaikos. This tension sets the stage for a fascinating season ahead. But how will Denver manage a talented yet potentially disgruntled veteran? Coach David Adelman's solution is bold, rebranding Valanciunas as a point center, not a traditional ball handler, but a versatile hub for half-court offense who'll operate through dribble handoffs, elbow touches, and post-ups to ignite ball movement. His impact creates opportunities, regardless of assists, Adelman emphasized. Yet here's the twist: this vital role comes off the bench. And this reshuffling extends further. Free agent additions Bruce Brown and Tim Hardaway Jr. must earn minutes in an open competition where even young players could disrupt rotation plans. Controversially, Adelman declared, new guys included, they all know they must compete. Is it fair to demand proven veterans like Brown and Hardaway to reprove themselves? Meanwhile, second-year big man DaRon Holmes battles back from a torn Achilles, acknowledging his summer league struggles as part of the process. It's like being a freshman again. Front office newcomer Jon Wallace, praised as a hoop head and connector by his Georgetown coach, now faces his biggest test yet, unifying this complex puzzle. Will Valanciunas embrace Denver's vision? Can newcomers outplay established talents? Sound off below. Whose strategy deserves more skepticism, the front office's roster moves or Adelman's rotation experiments? 2. Nuggets Jonas Valanciunas drama, the hard ball strategy. Picture this: a talented player finds himself at a crossroads, torn between loyalty to his current team and the allure of something seemingly better elsewhere. This isn't just any player, it's Jonas Valanciunas, and the Denver Nuggets are determined to keep him on their roster no matter what. But here's where things get tricky, and potentially explosive for both sides involved. It doesn't change anything if Valanciunas envisions himself as part of some grand bonus Jonas storyline, joining forces with his brothers Kevin, Nick, and Joe and living out what sounds like an over-the-top dream scenario. Nor does it matter if he secretly harbors ambitions of starring in his own reality TV show titled My Big Fat Greek Negotiation, chronicling his discussions with Panathinaikos, one of Europe's most storied basketball clubs. None of these flights of fancy alter the cold, hard truth: Jonas Valanciunas now wears a Denver Nuggets jersey. The trade that brought him to Colorado sent Dario Saric packing to Sacramento, a move so unexpected you might chuckle thinking about it, and positioned Valanciunas as the backup center at Ball Arena. In theory, this should mark the end of the saga, wrapping up what has undoubtedly been one of the most transformative off-seasons in Nuggets franchise history. Yet there's still a snag, a pesky detail threatening to unravel everything. And this is where the situation gets interesting. Valanciunas, through cryptic remarks and actions, seems to hint that he may not be fully committed to staying in Denver. Reports suggest he met with officials from Panathinaikos, considering a lucrative 3-year deal. The Greek club offers him a softer landing pad, closer to his Lithuanian roots, nearer to family, and perhaps a role more aligned with the stardom he once enjoyed before transitioning to the NBA. Sounds tempting, right? But hold on, he's bound by the fine print of his existing contract. Here's the catch: Valanciunas has 1 year remaining on his deal, worth $10.4 million. According to FIBA regulations, he can't sign with Panathinaikos unless the Nuggets release him. While they gladly let Saric go, this case is different. Denver needs Valanciunas desperately, not just because of his skill set but because of how critical depth is to their championship aspirations. Without him spelling Nikola Jokic, those dreams could quickly evaporate. This brings us to another layer of complexity. Over the past couple of seasons, internal frustrations brewed within the organization due to former coach Mike Malone leaning too heavily on Jokic during the regular season. His rebuttal? That Calvin Booth constructed a roster too reliant on its superstar. Enter David Adelman, who has emphasized preserving Jokic's energy for when it truly matters. Translation: to compete for a title, the Nuggets must ensure their MVP gets adequate rest after logging career-high minutes last year, 36.7 per game, and even more in the playoffs, 40.2. For the first time in half a decade, they finally have a viable solution, Valanciunas. He complements Jokic perfectly, almost like two puzzle pieces fitting seamlessly together. But Valanciunas appears stuck, and not in the way gum clings annoyingly to your shoe. No, this feels more permanent, like a vase glued back together with industrial-strength adhesive. Whether he likes it or not, escaping this predicament won't be easy. If his desire to return to Europe stems from familial obligations, empathy is warranted. However, if his mixed signals stem from financial motivations, connecting the dots becomes simpler given his non-guaranteed salary of $10 million for the 2026-27 season. Either way, he remains tethered to Denver. Why? Because the Nuggets hold all the cards. Realistically, they wouldn't entertain renegotiating his contract since having him under a one-year pact gives them flexibility regarding Christian Braun's impending extension. So, while we don't know precisely what's going through Valanciunas' mind, recent developments offer clues. Earlier this week, he joined training camp with the Lithuanian national team ahead of Eurobasket 2025 in August. When pressed about his future with the Nuggets, he responded ambiguously. "When I'm certain, I'll address everything." Make no mistake, the Nuggets were blindsided by this drama, despite publicly downplaying concerns. Co-general managers Ben Tenzer and Jon Wallace would have driven an Uber to Sacramento themselves to offload Saric's contract if needed. But every piece of their revamped roster hinges on Valanciunas' presence. Not negotiating extensions. Not pursuing buyouts. Tenzer reassured fans via Altitude 92.5 FM, stating unequivocally that he expects Valanciunas to suit up for Denver. He added, "We had indications he intended to honor that agreement. Honestly, we never worried about anything happening in Greece." Though confident outwardly, unease likely lingers behind closed doors. Tenzer and Wallace must tread lightly, showing no cracks while conveying nuance. They need to communicate privately how integral Valanciunas is to their plans, detailing Adelman's vision for his role, which includes running the second unit offense through him and carving out 20 nightly minutes. Valanciunas has long symbolized dedication and professionalism in Lithuania, earning admiration for his relentless work ethic. The Nuggets must tap into this narrative, reminding him of his sterling reputation. Would Valanciunas really risk tarnishing that legacy by pulling a Jimmy Butler-esque stunt on Denver? Again, he's stuck. His only recourse would involve throwing tantrums, skipping meetings, or forcing suspensions, behaviors typically associated with notorious malcontents like Butler or DeMarcus Cousins. Does Valanciunas possess the audacity to embrace such a role? The Nuggets must prepare to find out. Everything about Valanciunas screams professionalism. Ranking 8th among active players in rebounds underscores his hustle and commitment. So sure, maybe suiting up for his sixth team in 7 years isn't ideal. Perhaps backing up Jokic lacks glamour compared to starting 82 games 2 seasons ago. It might feel frustrating. But guess what? He's stuck. And here's the silver lining: winning a championship? That never sucks. So, readers, what do you think? Should Valanciunas dig in his heels and demand a trade, or should he embrace his role with the Nuggets and aim for glory? Share your thoughts below. We'd love to hear them.